Hey y'all, hope you guys are having a great year so far. Today I wanted to go over the top items that sold for us in 2023. All of these items sold for over $200 and there's 15 of them. And I'm going to leave you guys with a bonus at the very end, our 16th item, the most profitable sale that we've had in our entire eBay careers. So let's start this off. First item is going to be this pair of Montana boots. And FYI, some of these items are from past 90 days ago, so I can't pull up the exact listing that we had with the images and stuff. I don't have the images anymore on my phone or anything. So I pulled up listings that were very similar to the item, if not the exact same, so you guys could get an idea of what it looked like and vice versa. So first item, Montana boots. These just screamed at me at the thrift store. I mean, they are crazy looking, right? So had to look these guys up. I feel like whenever I saw these, and saw the brand, I thought I knew the brand. So I was like, I'm pretty sure these are worth money, but I had to double check. Found the exact comp on eBay and saw that they're going for hundreds, and that they were. I mean, these things sold, I think, in literally a week for full asking price. Listed them for 400 bucks, and the buyer paid 435. So, and these are, by the way, going to go in order from highest dollar down to lowest dollar. And so from starting at 400, it's going to go down to 200. So great little find. Cowboy boots are great. We sell them quite a bit, very often. It's our highest sale price average for by category that we have in our entire store. So I think our average sale price on boots is like 80 bucks. And we sell mostly only boots that are like above 60 bucks. So I usually don't like to mess with them unless they're going to sell for like 60 because they're kind of hard to take photos of and hard to ship. But we have a ton of, I would say half of our sales that are like above $150 are all boots, and they're just your average boots, the Casey's, whatever else. So always look up boot brands. Tons of good brands out there. Some of my best finds in previous years were also boots. For example, Stallion boots. That's another great brand. Super rare. They're like $1,500 MSRP. I've sold a pair of them, just a pair of ankle leather tooled boots in 2022 for $525. So always look up your boots if you see them, especially if they're unique like this. Crazy, crazy good find. You guys saw this in a recent video. If you did watch the recent video, these sold a couple days ago. They're called Viberg boots. Again, boots, crazy stuff. Um, these didn't have anything on the outside, like I said in the previous video, like nothing too whoa, like what's going on here. It was just I picked them up and they felt like really high quality. I mean, just super high quality. So looked them up. Cheapest one sold was like 200 bucks. They ended up costing 40. And by the way, the previous boots, the Montanas, we paid 25 for them. Sorry, I forgot to say that. These boots paid 40. So took a shot on them. They ended up selling, and they sat for about 4 months, 3 4 months, and then they sold for the best offer, and they sold for $433 all in. So the number I'm going to give you over here, the sale price is going to be everything. It's going to be the list price plus shipping plus sales tax, and so the all in baked in number. So these sold for 433. Next item, Shot. I think most resellers know this brand by now because it's on like everyone's below list. I feel like Shot is they make some crazy jackets. Yeah, they make some crazy jackets. Um, they also make like sweaters and normal clothes and stuff like that, but the jackets are what they're known for. These like fighter bomber jacket style stuff. So the tags all look a little bit different. Some of them say like Perfecto in really big letters, and then right underneath it in tiny font it says Shot. Some of them look like this, where it looks like a military tag, and then it just says Shot Bros right in the middle. But I mean, if you see a jacket that looks like this, no matter what it is, you should probably look at the brand because it probably is going to be worth some money. These fur on the neck and the bomber style and leather. But so I picked these up or picked this up for 90 bucks at a Plaza Thrift up in McKinney, just north of us, about 30 minutes. I bought it last winter, the beginning of 2023, and I don't remember everything about it, but I remember that it sold in like a week, and it sold overseas, and the buyer paid $402 all in. I think I took a best offer of like 350, maybe 375. I don't know, but yeah, it was a great find. Sold very quick. I'd always been looking for that jacket. like the Shot brand jackets, and that's the only one I've ever found. And I was so happy whenever I found it that I didn't even care how much it sold for, but really did sell for a great price. But yeah, Shot, be on the lookout. Ralph Lauren. So this was crazy. This is a kid's shirt of all things. It's an XL boys button-up shirt, and I bought it not knowing it was worth a ton of money. I thought it'd be like a 30, 40 maybe at most dollar shirt. It's very hard to find a comp on it while I was in the store sourcing. I paid $5.99 for it at Thrift Giant here in Dallas, and it sat for about 3 months, and then someone shot me an offer. I listed it for 500, and then sort of worked down the price over here. And someone shot me an offer for 300, and I was like, I'll just take it. I mean, $300 for a button-up shirt, that never happens. So if you ever see Ralph Lauren, it's got something unique about it, super unique. Always look it up. You just never know what you might have. You never know like how much it could be worth. You never know. Just never know. So always look up Ralph Lauren. Really cool plaid sleeves. Never seen that on Ralph Lauren. And then I flipped it over. Almost missed that graphic, honestly, whenever I was flipping through it. And I just happened to look back and I was like, whoa, what is that? Okay. Picked it up. Super good. Awesome find. This sold, if I didn't say, I did not say, this sold for $333 all in. So next brand, Canada Goose. I've known about this since I started reselling. A few months after I started reselling, found out about this brand. This I have been looking for a long time, and I found it about a month and a half ago. I had a Goodwill for $9.99. Was freaking out whenever I found it. It was super super cool. I was a little bummed out that it was a little just like it had quite a bit of wear, a lot of fading on the sleeves, fading on the lower front. But I was able to look up this 2629M model number, found it in their like catalog that they release every year. And so I got to use the actual name, the Highbridge hoodie. I was struggling to find it on eBay, so I found that catalog on Google, thankfully. Ended up listing it for 400. Was okay taking an offer. Anything above 300, I was okay with on taking an offer whenever I listed it. Someone shot me an offer, I think for 300 because it sold for all in 330. So sold for 300. Buyer paid 330 for shipping and whatever else. If they had sales tax, then great, they paid it. Um, yeah, Canada Goose is great. I saw this patch whenever I was like 20 feet away from the rack, and I was like, no way, that's Canada Goose. Walked over, it was. So if you see that patch, Canada Goose, it's usually on their sleeves. Crazy, crazy find. Typically, you find some of their nicer jackets, they can go for like $700-800. New, their MSRP is like over 1,000, so or pushing 1,000 and sometimes over 1,000. So super good brand. Keep your eye out for it. Arc'teryx. Found this last winter while I went on a sourcing run to Houston for the first time. I'm from Houston, live in Dallas, but I'm from Houston. And my buddy who is down there said that there are a lot of thrift stores that we're good to go to. So ended up running down there one weekend, trying it out. It went really well, honestly. Um, Not including this jacket, it also went really well. I've only been 2 or 3 times now down there to source, just mostly for fun and to visit friends and grab stuff while I'm down there. But I found this at Family Thrift. It was $15, like just under $15, cents, whatever, $15. Um, the one that this is not my listing because this sold last year, almost 11 months ago, and it sold for $325 all in. I remember it selling really quickly, like within a week or two, and I remember there being like 20 to 40 watchers on it before it sold. So these things sell really quick. This is one of the better models to find, from my understanding. These like puffer jackets. So the Cerium SV is what this one is called. I have not found it again, but I have found other Arc'teryx items that have sold for close to $300. There's actually another one that I'm not going to go over. It was just like a windbreaker, and I'm not going over it because it's the same brand, Arc'teryx. So found another one this past year, sold for like $250. But I'm skipping it so that you guys can get a little more diversified in what's in this list. So skipping a few things actually that were like duplicate brands. So Arc'teryx being one of those. So yeah, Arc'teryx, everything is good, by the way. Everything Arc'teryx is good. Doesn't matter what category you're in, does not matter. It's all really good. So next one, a tie. Who knew you get 300 bucks for a tie. This, I have been looking for this model for a long time. I have always, since I started reselling, I don't remember how I found out about this Zegna tie. It's an Ermenegilda Zegna, and it's the Quindisi. I don't know how to pronounce it. Quindisi tie. I saw this in the thrift store from 10 feet away, saw the crazy pattern, walked up to it, saw that Zegna, and before I saw this, I knew this was one of the crazy ones. So Zegna makes just your normal ties. The Zegna ties actually are worth quite a bit of money. I mean, like ties are what, $1 to $3 at thrift stores typically. If you're at the bins, they're like 20 cents. Zegna ties typically sell for us. They usually sell for around 20 to 30 bucks plus shipping. I'm not huge into ties. I'm about to get into them heavily. I'm sort of stockpiling them right now, and I'm gonna launch like over 100 of them at once and do like a buy one get one free tie section in our store. Really excited about that. But that's why I found this, because I was looking for ties for that, and then stumbled across this, and then that made me even more excited about just doing the buy one get one free ties. But anyways, super good find. So I don't think I have a. Okay, so this, if you see this numbering thing here, this 1 through 15, that is the Quindisi model. So I listed this. I paid $3 for this. Listed it for the asking price, 285. Guy bought it within like 48 hours, like literally 48 hours. It sold, which is also crazy, and it sold for 315 all in. So if you see that on a Zegna tie, do not leave it there. They're super rare. I mean, it's very very rare to find one of these. I think there's like only 10 listed right now, and not many sold. Like maybe 20 to 40 sold. But it is super cool. Like if you see any tie that looks like that, you should probably look up what brand it is. I mean, cool looking ties sell well. They just got to be the right brand. Zegna, Brioni, Turnbull, and Acer. So just some really good finds right there. Not my listing, but this is a really good brand. ML Letty, cowboy boots again. Sold a few cowboy boots in the top 15. ML Letty is a really good cowboy boot brand. The ones I sold were not this color and they were not this ostrich, but they sold for a similar price. They sold for more. No, they sold for a similar price. After this guy paid whatever. The ones that we sold for 284, all in shipping, tax, everything, and they were dark burgundy, like red color, not ostrich, just like your normal leather flat deal. And yeah, so sold for 284. Super great brand. Again, cowboy boots. Always look them up. And there's so many like little like pockets of boots. Like there'll be like only 100 listed and then 100 sold. And there's so many brands like that in the cowboy boot section, like these ML Letties. Like there's only probably 200 listed and 200 sold. But I think, but they go for a ton of money. I mean, there's a ton of little brands like that out there in the boot section. So always be looking up your cowboy boots and learning that category. It's a really good category. I'm serious. Like we've made a lot of money in the cowboy boot section. And they sell really quick too. So Balmain. So I found two of these. Oh, by the way, MLED. I got those on the way back from Houston. Stopped in Conroe at a Goodwill. Probably paid $12.99 to $15 for these. Yeah, heading back to Dallas from that route where I got the Arc'teryx. So two great finds down in Houston on the way back. So good deal. Balmain got these. So this is gonna try to make this quick, but I've got two of these. One's red, one's green. This is my listing. It did sell. Buyer ended up not paying. It's relisted on my store, but the other one that I have sold 6 months ago, and it sold for $249 all in. It's exactly the same as this, and it's just green, same size, same everything. Got both of them at a thrift giant here for $5.99 each, and the green one sold relatively quickly, like within 30 days. This one is still sitting, I assume, because of this flaw in the front. It's like fading. Balmain's like a designer brand, sort of like Gucci and stuff. It gets faked a lot, so make sure it's legit if you find it, and make sure you comp it because some of their items are just all over the place. I mean, they're like sell-through rate is all over the place. I mean, everything goes for like a crazy amount of money, but I mean, I just bought them because they're $6. I mean, if these would have been like $30, I probably would have passed based off of what I was seeing on eBay. because it was just like a chance. So, anyways, I still have one of these. It's still sitting. It's got flaws, but the other one is green. Wish I could show you the pictures, but they're literally the exact same. So, Balmain, cool brand. Look it up if you find it, and be diligent about looking it up and making sure it's authentic. Yeah. Next item, another Ralph Lauren. Really cool jacket. I bought this at the beginning of this winter, like this December, beginning of December maybe. Paid $40 for it, paid up on it, but I knew this was probably going to be worth it. I looked it up in the store, but whenever I saw it, I was like, this is probably going to still be worth $40. I'm just gonna make sure with the comps. Um, just because of the corduroy, the plaid on the inside, it being a big coat like this with a cool belt. Ended up finding an exact comp for I believe 225, which is what this thing sold for. All in, buyer paid 240. So great little find. I think it took only like a week or two to sell. And yeah, I found like two or three more like Ralph Lauren like quilted jackets and stuff there too at the same time. Those sold, but they're not in this list because they sold for like 120 and like 130 and stuff. But yeah, Ralph Lauren stuff. If it's unique, it sells. And this is cool because it's like almost like westerny, which is unique too. It's because of those like upside down V patches. Pretty cool. Prada. This is not my listing. Very similar shoes. I had uh, all black loafers. This Prada Milano didn't look like this. There was something there. It was the triangle with the Prada written on the inside. I bought these at Goodwill for $9.99, and they sold for I think the asking price. I listed them for $199, and they sold for the asking price. Buyer paid all in $235, and they sold really quickly. I think they sold in like a week or two. So might have underpriced them, but I didn't really care. So I just wanted to get rid of them. So Prada, yeah, really good brand. Again, faked. I think faked more heavily in like the clothing sector, not much in these like loafer style shoes. I don't know why people would really heavily. You could probably tell pretty quickly if they're fake. They'd be really lightweight and stuff like that. But yeah, super good brand. Be on the lookout for it, but also don't buy fakes. Really hard to notice fakes sometimes. Orbis. Orbis makes a lot of clothing. So you clothing sellers might not realize that their fishing rods are crazy good. Vintage fishing rods, the current ones, the fly fishing rods in particular. I think that's all they make actually, not like reels for like bait casters and stuff. But I'm not in the fishing category, but I know Orbis fly fishing rods do really well. Saw this at a support your troops, I think, up in Plano, and paid $7.50 for it, and it sold for $200 within 24 hours of listing it. Really good find. I had a buddy who wanted to buy this off of me, and he like asked about it like the day I listed it, and the next day it sold before he made his mind up. So he missed out on it, but someone got a great item for a good price. Yeah, so great find. These are really hard to find in thrift stores. I've never found them, but if you're an estate sale person or a garage sale person, I'm sure you've probably ran across Orbis one time or another, or you haven't, and it's been there and you haven't realized, or you just haven't ran across it. But I've seen Orbis sales and stuff like in estate sales online before. But yeah, just always make sure you look it up. There's a like you can look up this stuff here on this tag, and you get a pretty good idea of what you have. So, anyways, yeah, and also it's on the rods and reels. It has all the details on it, so just make sure you comp it out. Next item, sorry. Next item is Rio of Mercedes. Another great boot brand. Bought like probably 3 or 4 pairs of these before in the past and sold them. Every single one of them has sold for over $150. Yeah, not much to say here. I mean, it's just a great brand. This is not my listing, but this is like the exact boot that I did sell. This guy got 245 for his. I got 230 for mine. Mine were in a little bit worse condition than his, but still a great sale, quick seller. There's not that many listed and a lot more sold than listed. So yeah, Rios or Mercedes. Again, just look up your boots. There's a lot of great boots out there. Grayson. Grayson is a golf brand, newer golf brand. This is not my item. I bought this exact item last year as well from a consignment store for I believe $35. It was new with tags, but it was all orange. It was not gray, and there are no orange ones sold, so I just had to choose the gray one. So whenever I bought this, it was probably a newer model, so I got like top dollar for it at the time. Um, the MSRP was still $498. It sold for $223 all in. It did sit, I think, a couple months before it sold. But yeah, great find. Grayson's a great brand. It's probably one of the top three in the golf sector right now for like polos and stuff. The leading one is Roback. Roback is destroying everyone in resale value, and just overall, like the amount of people who want that brand is just unmatched compared to other brands. So Roback, Grayson, and there's probably a tie for the third spot. So I can't think off the top of my head who's good, but yeah, Roback. If you don't know Roback, that's the Roback logo. These polos sell like wildfire. I mean, you can buy them and sell them in like same day for $60, $70, $80. So be on the lookout for Roback, and also be on the lookout for Grayson. Grayson stuff's really good, especially their winter stuff, and they make a lot of cool sweaters and stuff that sell really well. A lot of cashmere sweaters with cool designs. Okay, so last item before the final crazy good sale of all time that we've had of a single item. But yeah, these are Titleist wedges. Before we get to that final sale, bought these off Facebook Marketplace. Guy had 18 of them, of the SM6, 7, and 8s, and he wanted $18 a piece for them. And I was like, heck yeah, dude, I'll take them all. And so bought all 18 of them. I got like 2 sets of these like SM7 3 wedges, or two, like you got of the SM7 wedges, I got 2 sets of 3. So I sold another set, and then this is the one that I'm just showing you guys. But yeah, sold for full asking price $179. Sold within a week. They sold for all in $205. So that was a great haul that I had there. I mean, paid nothing. I think all the wedges sold for like roughly $60 a piece. So 18 times 60, whatever that is, and then minus my cost of goods and eBay fees. Super good flip. Facebook Marketplace can be a great spot to pick up some good flips. We've done a couple whole big lot buys like that off of Facebook, and they've always done really well. So finally, the last thing that we're going to look at here is this Versace. This is a crazy find. Thrift Giant, right down the street from my house. Was there. My parents were in town. They wanted to go thrifting, so we took them there because it was a close thrift store. Popped in, did our usual thing there for about an hour because my parents wanted to look around. Was in the checkout line, and on the back wall they had this. By the way, this is not my listing, but this is a very similar item to what I had found. But I sold this like 6 months ago, so I don't have the pictures anymore. If I have a picture on my phone, if I find one, I might flash it up here. But anyways, so it was on the back wall. Checked it out. Um, Ended up being legit. Had like a care tag in it with authentication number in it. Went on the Versace website, typed in the authentication number while I was in the store. Actually, no, whenever I got home, I just took a shot on it, honestly. It was $50, and I was like, this looks pretty legit based on what I'm seeing online. Didn't notice the authentication thing. Got home, went online, typed in the code, checked out, was authenticated, and then listed it, and it sold in like 24 hours for $745 all in. And I was like, whoa, that is the best sale we have ever had by far. So it was a crazy find. I was super pumped about it. And if you've ever sold, a bolo like that, like for some of you it might be $100 item, for some of you it might be $1,000 item. For me, it was a $700 Versace. I mean, the adrenaline is pumping whenever that sale goes through, and especially whenever you find it. But like with this item, it's like my adrenaline wasn't pumping on the find because I was like, I don't even know what this thing goes for, so I'm just gonna list it high and see what happens. But for it to sell in 24 hours for 750, I was like, okay, that's nuts. Sweet, got it. So yeah, those were the best sales that we had in 2023. I hope that in 2024 we find some new higher bolo items. We're sort of shifting right now to sort of weed out some of those weaker sale items. So always doing research, always expand your knowledge. We have been in this business for almost 4 years now, and we are always trying to find out new brands to sell because there's so many that just are created and so many that just fall off the face of the earth. Like a lot of people right now are, talking about how Peter Millar has fallen off the face of the earth. So for us, Peter Millar still does great, but for most people, it seems like it has fallen off. So yeah, always keep in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys saw some things today that you might not have known about, or if you're just watching to entertain yourself and sort of see what some of the top sales were for some of the bigger eBay stores, then great. I'm glad you guys came by and watched, and I will see you guys in the next video. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you guys have any video preferences for the future, and we will try to get to them as time goes on. Have a good year, guys.